Hi guys, welcome to another episode of AJAWI TV where we discuss architectural and construction related topics. I'm your host, I'm AJAWI, and for today we'll be on the Build with AJAWI series, right? We're building a two-bedroom house in St. Elizabeth for a returning resident, and as such I'll be taking you along that entire process as promised, right? So this is the fourth episode, and I just wanted to point out a few things that happened during the project. So if you want to get information as it relates to doing construction phase by phase, from a designer's perspective, from a contract administrator's perspective, right, this is the episode for you, or this is the channel for you. We're taking you from start to finish for this entire or this particular project. All right, so without any further ado, let's get into this video. So welcome back. So got up the other day and was working out, right? And I got a call from the contractor that the land is steeper than we thought, as it relates to the slope towards the back. Initially we knew the land was sloping, but it's a gentle slope, right? It's a gentle slope. And I think it's really I wouldn't say oversight, but I think it's an underestimation, because to the naked eye, the property or the land is not sloping that much. And that is why I always tell people to, always ensure that you get a topographic survey. So even though the land may be, it may look as if it's not really that much of a slope, over time that small increment does add up. Alright, so always ensure that you get the topographic survey done for properties that you're going to be designing for. Now, in the initial stage, we did the site investigation. We did pick up this, right? So I did pick up that the land is sloping and the slope is great towards the back, right? Now, got a call in the morning saying, Alan, the land is sloping towards the back, and we'll need some retaining walls to really account for that, and then we're going to dump up. We possibly can dump up, or we can either switch around the sewage system so that it's at the front instead of at the back, and all of that. And this was, a conversation that we were having for the project, right? Now, what I want you to understand is we have thought about pretty much all of this before, as it relates to the cost of the project, because the quantity surveyor got the drawings, he went to the site and did all of that. I initially ensured that for the boundary wall, I had an 8-inch boundary wall, so I did consider that. Now, with that said, the contractor provided a possible solution. Now, this is where I want homeowners or property owners who are actually doing construction to be very careful, because when your contractor is providing a solution, he's providing a solution from the perspective of only the construction, not necessarily from a perspective of the least cost effective, because variations equal more money for the contractor, right? So try to keep that in mind. So because we did have the drawings, right, we did have the bill of quantities in place, we quantified everything, we had all the numbers lined out, right? Item for item. This was a good point for us because once he stated that he was making the suggestion which would have increased the value of the project, right? But because we already have a budget, we know what the budget is supposed to be. And so I let him know that, hey, alright, I'm gonna relook at the drawings to see what we can do and see if we can accommodate the retaining wall. I did go through a couple of options over the phone, right, to really, let us say, to have that conversation so that we can see, okay, what are the possible ways forward, right? So variations mean that the contractor will want to claim more than the project is valued at so far, right? So you as the homeowner, you have to be very careful on that. Once you have your bill of quantities, don't make decisions before consulting your bill of quantities, all right? Do not make decisions before consulting the bill of quantities and consulting the drawings, right? Because what happened was that he sent me some sketches as well to see the possible solutions. And what I was doing was, okay, I looked at the sketches and I'm like, okay, all right, cool, let me have a look as well, right? So I went and looked at the drawings to come up with a solution, right? And here's the important part. I did a revision to the drawings. A lot of times people get drawings from their designer or somebody that did the drawings for them, and that's it. They think that that's the end of it for the construction, but that's not the case, right? What I did was I revised the drawing immediately. So that particular sheet, I know what length that retaining wall will be, what size retaining wall, what is changing around, what will be substituted in order to accommodate the retaining wall, and subsequently keep the project within budget moving forward. Now, this is very important. You can see why, which is it's keeping the project cost within the budget, right? So keep that in mind. Now, your technologists should be on the project, as I said before, for this very reason. You will need to re-look at your drawings at some point within your project, if it is that anything come up as it relates to cost-wise, as it relates to design changes, anything like that, right? Because one of the solutions that was given would have ended up sending up the cost of the construction. But because I was able to re-look at the drawings, look at what are the possible options and design it and adjust the design accordingly, in that instance, I was able to keep the project on track with the budget, alright? So keep that in mind. Next thing that I wanted to point out, I think I probably said it already, but I'm gonna say it again. Don't underestimate your topographic survey. Don't underestimate your topographic survey. It's very important. The reason is that you may think that by looking at the property it is flat. When those numbers add up over time, it does make a big difference, because a 4-foot difference in land is very steep as it relates to quantity of materials, right? And it helps to save money, right? Because designing according to what is there does help to save money. Alright, so keep that in mind. Stick to the budget. Stick to the budget, right? So as I said, based on the possible solutions that were provided, the project budget would have been increased. But because I evaluated the situation, look at the possible solutions, and then went on my computer to design it over, and then relook at the budget, that made it stay within budget. Now, when I say stay within budget, it's very important that you consult back with your quantity surveyor, right? It's very important. So your quantity surveyor, you can have him on a retainer throughout the life of the project. All right, you can do that. What will happen is he will get all claims that are made on the project, and he is supposed to sign off on them as well. But for me, what I did was to ensure that he's there, so that whenever quantities come up, I always send it to him. So even though I made that decision and I kind of gauged it to say, okay, I don't think that this should affect the cost of the project based on the changes that I've made and the substitutions that I've made to ensure that the retaining wall is created. This helped because then I send the drawings to the quantity surveyor, and he's now able to update his quantities and then provide feedback to the client to say, okay, all right, we're still in budget. This is what has been substituted. This is the cost from this location. We put it over to here. Are you okay with this? And then you're able to move forward. All right, so always consult with your budget, consult with your quantity surveyor, and try to stay within budget. All right, stay within budget. Don't just up and do things, because when I got the call, the notion was to make a decision in the moment. But what I did was I said, okay, give me about 2 hours. Let me really sit down and look at it, and then I'll give you a call back. And within that 2 hours, I was able to do the changes, update the drawings, and then send back those drawings to the contractor to update and have those be the way forward, which ends up saving money. All right, so yeah, so consult with your quantity surveyor whenever changes are made on your project. Right, I'm gonna say it again. Consult with your quantity surveyor to ensure that the changes that you're making during the construction are reflected on your bill of quantities, are updated, so that you know where the budget is. All right, so right now we still know where the budget is moving forward. All right, so that's what I wanted to update you on today. It's all about managing the project, keeping the project within budget, right? So we're building a 2-bedroom house, 2-bathroom, kitchen, dining, living, carport, back veranda, front veranda, all of the works. We're doing landscaping, we're doing roofing, all of those things, and we ensure that we have our bill of quantities, we have approved drawings, we have our contractor, we have contracts in place, so that the project can move forward in a manner that will help our returning resident build safely, efficiently, and come back home to enjoy their home. And that's pretty much it. That's what we want for our returning residents. All right, so again guys, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing this video. Remember, click the like, click the subscribe, click the notification bell, so that you can be notified whenever I make videos just like this one. All right, I'm AJAWI, and I'll see you next time on episode 5 of the Build with AJAWI series. All right.